Good afternoon, folks, and thanks for joining us. My name's Tim Wheaton with MMA Sucka, and today we have a main event fighter joining us. He'll be fighting on October the 29th at Karate Combat 36. Today we have the Tiger, Bruno Souza. How you doing today, Bruno?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Flew from LA to Florida to fight to do what I most like in my life. I can't complain of anything of my life. Second fight in 2 months, so I'm doing what I want. Of course, I'm getting paid for it, and that's the best part of it. But it's still enjoyable. I love fighting, and that's it. Karate combat's the shit.
Man, absolutely. And that's the crazy part is that you are living the dream, competing in martial arts that you've been in for your whole life, getting paid for it, flying around the sunniest parts of the US. Bro, you must look back and just like, I've made it. Like you're almost like you're successful, right? Tell me like you're living the dream.
I want to say I'm starting to live. Let's say right now I'm surviving
Mm.
on the gym. You know, After I start like having a lot more things, because like this is just the beginning. I'm only 26 years old. I didn't even start it. I didn't even start it. Like you're gonna see a lot of me still and everywhere. So I'm starting to enjoy. I'm starting to have fun more of it. I'm starting to feel more comfortable and it's starting to express myself and be more jokeable, like be more funnier. Before I tried to play a character that was not me, but because I was not confident enough. But right now I have everything that I need. And yes, man, it's starting to live the dream.
And we're reaching there. You're not celebrating just yet, but things are on the right track. You're coming off a big win at Karate Combat 35. How did you feel about this win? How did you feel about your performance in the last match?
No, I love it. My performance. My opponent was really tough. I think he can show way more. I think he can fight way better than he did against me. He's a tough guy. I like him a lot. We actually talk a lot after our fight. Like that's the best thing of karate combat. The environment is so good. We
Mm.
go out there, we fight each other, but then whatever we can help, we do. And that's it. So my Czech probably is gonna be fighting soon. I hope he had a great performance too. But about myself, that was me. That was finally me letting go. That was like someone took off the leash, and I was
Mm.
like, go, just do yourself. And then I was like, oh, that feel good. And now I want more. Every time I want more and more and more.
Oh man, and now we got to do it all over again. You said the last fight was awesome. It was great to participate. You got a big match coming up, headlining fight against Edgars Skrivers. This is a big match. He's experienced in the karate combat enclosure. Tell me, what's the game plan coming into this fight? How do you feel about this matchup?
Scrivens is a guy that I've been watching even before I signed for Karate Combat, even before I think to fight in Karate Combat. Like he's been a dominant champion, and I have a bunch of respect of him. But that's the fight that I wanted, right?
Mm.
I will never sign for something that I will not try to be the best. And to be the best, I gotta be the best. So he's one of the best in this. And he's not only experienced in karate, he's experienced in MMA too. He has like 20 fights in MMA, so he's well rounded. And I can't wait. My game plan is be me. Like watch my fights. That's how I fight. Like and try to find the openings on his game to put our game on it. But it's not gonna be a major difference. I'm gonna be moving. I'm gonna be touching. I'm gonna be measuring the distance. And if I can do all of that, the show is gonna be mine.
Oh man, it's awesome stuff. And I did hear that you are aiming for gold. With a win here, will you be calling out the champion, Luis Victor Roca, after this matchup?
Now that's the obvious thing to do. Like Luis Vito is a great champ too,
Mm.
but I'm gonna get that belt. Like sooner or later he can run, but he cannot hide. I'm gonna get the belt.
Absolutely love to hear it. Now, from hearing you speak and looking at other like stories on you, you're not a big trash talker. There's no beef with these opponents. There's a ton of respect. And now you're very clearly a student of Machida Karate. Is that taught from them, or is it more naturally you? You're just not a big trash talker.
Uh, we were talking about this yesterday. I can I
Mhm.
can talk. I can talk. But I gotta be. I'm not the one that gonna start it. I gotta answer. If it's be respectful, we're gonna be respectful the whole day. Like yesterday, we had a talk with Skrivers face to face. He was respectful. I was not expecting that. I was expecting him to be a little bit more of a douchebag, but he was really respectful,
Yeah.
and he broke me. I had so many answers for him. He didn't give me one opportunity to put my to display my answers. But joking apart, of course, he was so respectful. So like, okay, if you're respecting me, I'm gonna respect you back. If you talk shit from me, I'm gonna talk shit to you. That's simple. It's a simple math, and it's not like I'm not. I'm of course from the Machida roots, but I'm not as cold blood as Lyoto is. Like he's too chill. I can't be like that. Like if you fire me up, like it's gonna get an explosion.
Man, that's the thing with Lyoto is that his work, like watching him at UFC 99 take the title from Rashad Evans, that's one of the like watermarks of MMA. That's like a high point. Like, so you got into karate, you were a Shotokan guy, and then you switched to Machida Karate. When did you start working with the Machida family?
My whole life actually. I started training with them, with Sensei Shinzo, Sensei Master Machida,
Yeah.
Sensei Lyoto, when I was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the same city. Yeah, so like
Four?
I'm definitely I'm like in the lineage, like of black belts from Master Machida.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been the whole life. So, but over there we trained Shotokan Karate,
Yep.
and I had a career on Shotokan Karate. But whenever they start developing Machida Karate because of Lyoto, he was being successful. Like, and Machida Karate is nothing more than okay, what's applicable from Shotokan Karate, what's not. So
Mm-hmm.
we separate things, and okay, this works in MMA, which is the closest thing from a fight in the street. It's MMA, right?
Yeah.
So we want to teach our students. I still teach Machida Karate with Sensei Shinzo uh, over there in LA, and we want to teach our students karate. But what we believe, it's not right or wrong, but what we believe is more applicable for real life, and that's what we do in Machida Karate.
And it's clearly working as well. There's tons of success coming out of the academy. You've been there your entire life, and you also switched. Originally, you were in judo, and then switched to karate. Why the step away from judo?
Because I was not good at judo.
Oh, that simple.
I
But
started
clearly,
judo when I
yeah.
was 3. At a point, I was training judo. Yeah, I apparently I had a lot of energy when I was a kid, and they just wanted to drag me out. Like they want something. Anyways, I started judo when I was 3, and I always compete. Even like those small tournaments, I always compete. Whatever is a tournament that I could compete, I was competing. So at a point, when I was like 6, 7, 8, I was
Mm-hmm.
competing judo and karate. I was
Mm-hmm.
winning karate and losing judo, and I was like, you know what? I think I don't like judo anymore. Just because I was losing. I went to karate because I was winning, and
Yeah.
that worked. I cannot blame my 7 years old kid.
No, it's clearly worked. And look at where you are now. You're at the highest level, competing in karate combat, headlining a fight. You're almost to the championship. And like we said, life is good. But however, on Saturday night, October 29th, that'll be your main event. You're fighting opposite Anderson Silva and Jake Paul. Can I get a prediction out of you for the boxing match between Anderson Silva and Jake Paul? How do you see
That's
that
a
one
hard
going?
one. That's a hard one, man. Because like, unlike a lot from MMA, I do have a lot of respect for Jake Paul because, like, first of all, he don't need it. He don't need to be training. He don't need to do what he's doing. So he does because he want. That's when someone is dangerous. Whenever he has that effort, that training, whenever you don't need it,
Mhm.
that's when you respect the guy. But in other hand, the other side is the best of all time. Uh, One of the best of all time for me. GSP is the best of all time. But anyways, Anderson Silva, it's a beast. So I gotta go for Anderson later knockout, like something like that. You know how many rounds? I didn't check it. How many rounds are gonna be?
Off the top of my, yeah, I have no idea off the top of my head. It's
Yeah. So if it's a long fight, that would be really good for Anderson. If it's a 5 round, Jake Paul is more explosive for sure, and that's a danger. And Anderson been knocked out a few times. I don't believe he said he got knocked out in training. I don't know. I think he's just joking, but he's been knocked out in his career for sure. And his jaw is not the same. He's almost 50 years old, so that is a problem right there. But I think his is more than enough, right? So he's not gonna come out try to bang with Jake Paul. He's gonna drag him out a little bit and then pick him apart after all.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head with that match of like Anderson Silva. This isn't the same guy that we were watching in 2008, 2009. This is he is old at this point, whereas Jake Paul, You know, he's coming up, like you said, he has nothing to lose in this matchup. It's a dangerous one. However, we're not going to turn our back on these legends. Like Anderson Silva is a legend of martial arts. We
No,
have
look,
to,
in the
yeah,
end of the day,
yeah,
win, lose, or draw, not gonna, because people were like, oh, it's gonna be a mark on Anderson careers. No, Anderson has nothing to prove. No one. He's
yeah,
gonna go out there. He's gonna make some money. You know, he's
yeah,
gonna he's trying to knock this guy that everybody want to knock him out.
yeah,
And he's doing his thing. If he lose, if Jake Paul knock him out, it's not that it's gonna be bad for his career. It's, look, he's almost 50 years old. Like,
yeah.
we respect him for doing it, but it's not gonna change nothing for his career or legacy.
That's actually a good point because, like, it's almost not a great situation for Jake Paul because he either loses to Anderson Silva, but if he wins, I think as like fans and pundits, we would discredit it of like, yeah, you beat a 95-year-old Anderson Silva, so what? It's like a very no-win situation aside from the money. He gets paid for
Yeah,
it. That's the
yeah.
that's the good part, eh?
But the thing is that Jake Paul doesn't actually care about it. He knocked Ben Askren out, and people, yes, people are right to say Ben Askren has the worst striking from MMA ever, but he knocked him out, and he don't care if people love him or hate him because of that. He's doing his thing, and he's doing
Yeah.
perfectly. Like, whoever's managing his career is doing perfectly, step by step. First a YouTuber, after an athlete, after a fighter, after like a world champion. Now Anderson Silva, old Anderson Silva. You know, like, before he step up to actually actual boxing competition, if he one day want to, you know. So, like, he's doing right, man. I respect him. I don't know personally if he's a good or bad guy, but like, I respect what he's doing.
No, exactly. The object of prize fighting is to get in there and make money, and he's actually succeeding. Like we hate to say it, but like this guy's
Yeah,
winning. He's doing good.
yeah, yeah. MMA community hate him. I want to see him getting knocked out by Anderson. Don't get me wrong. The same way that I wanted to Nate Diaz knock Conor McGregor out, but I'm a big fan of Conor McGregor. But like, I want to see that thing, happening. You know, like, I want that. So, but on the other hand, I still respect Jake Paul.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So speaking of Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida, you mentioned Nick and Connor, sorry, Nate and Connor. Who were some of your inspirations to get into the combat sports world? Who were some fighters that
Uh,
you looked up to?
of course, Lyoto, right? I had this close relationship with him, as I said, since I'm like a little kid.
Yeah.
And I saw him doing his thing, and I was like, oh, he can do it. I can do it too. As a kid, it's like,
That's what
the
he
guy
said
go out.
when he won the title. He said, if you can dream it, you can do it. He said, I
Yeah,
did it.
yeah,
You can do it too.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what he said.
But the thing is that even before, like, that's how it used to work. He used to be my father's sensei,
Yeah.
and he used to go to Japan. I remember his first fight against Kengo Watanabe. He came back with a VHS. My dad liked to cook, so my dad cooked. We watched the fight together. He was sitting right there. I was like, oh, he's fighting right there. He's sitting right there. That's me with what, 6 years old or a little bit more. And I was like, oh, he's doing it. And then he go out there 50, if I'm not wrong, 50 fight win streak. And that was a bad thing for all of us, because Lyoto made it look so easy, that we had so much potential coming after him, that thought, even myself, thought it would be that easy. We all thought that we would do the same. And in the first loss, few of the guys better than me, stronger than me, faster than me, they gave up because, like, it was not that easy. And I lost on my first fight. So I was like, okay, I realized that was not easy right in the start point. And that was the mark for me. And but Lyoto, of course, a GSP 100%, man. He called my fight last time. He had no idea how big a fan of him I am, but I didn't even got to speak with him. I was like, no, let me keep that distance. I was like, I of course I gave him he gave me a handshake. He was like, great fight. But listen to him commentating on my fight, saying good things about the everything what I do. That was remarkable for me.
Man, you are. It's a crossroads of great things happening in your life right now.
Yeah.
And I also want to ask you. Stop me when I'm wrong here. You have a plant-based diet. Is that correct?
No, I don't. But my
Okay,
wife does. My wife does.
gotcha. Okay,
And so I do 1 week or other. For example, my fight week, pretty much I go plant-based. Uh, more of a vegetarian, because I still eat like eggs. I still eat one kind of bread that I have with egg. I still have milk, but like I liked it. You know, it's just too hard for me to give up because I like the meat, but I do enjoy little by little. We go like because the wife eats plant based,
Mhm.
so usually when we're gonna cook something, or it's always plant based. So like, and in the end of the day, uh, I eat like meat 2 times, 3 times a week. You know, like so like it's already slowing down so much.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that's what I was curious about because I saw it and I thought I better ask and we can figure out what's going on
Yeah.
here. But okay, so and last couple questions here for you. What advice would you give to other people starting in the sport? Because like you were looking up to Machida, there's now younger people who are now looking at you in the same vein. What advice would you be giving these kind of people?
Yeah, I have two things that I always say whenever people ask me. First of all, you gotta pick whoever is gonna you're gonna listen to. Okay, that's the fighter's job. You're gonna pick your corner, your coach, your jiu-jitsu master. I have my one right here, or your karate master, and we already spoke a lot about that. So we're gonna pick, and we gotta trust on them. With that, after you do that, do not give up. Like, listen to them, keep doing, keep your work. Man, you're gonna lose, you're gonna suck, you're gonna get beat up. But like, keep. As I said, I was not the strongest, I was not the fastest, I was not the prettiest, I was never the best of my gym, but I was the one that was always there. You know, anything, everything was happening, I was there. Losing tournaments, I would come back and train. Get beat up in training, I would come back and the other day. You know, like, and I was a chubby kid that just didn't give up. You know, like that's what it is.
Man, absolutely love to hear it. And last word goes to you. I'll just do the quick rundown. Karate Combat 36 will be on October 29th. The Tiger Bruno Souza will be fighting in the main event. Last word goes to you. Talk us on out of here. Shout out any sponsors or anyone else that you need to shout out before we head out of here.
Now, of course, shout out to Karate Combat. They have a great. If you guys are not, if you guys are fight fans and they're not Karate Combat, you're not a real fight fan. Like, you gotta check these out. You know, I fought all over. I fought LFA. Big shout out to LFA too. I love them so much. Fought UFC. Fought in Brazil, and Karate Combat. That, like, it's not one step behind of any of them. They are on that level. You know, so fighters are getting better every time. It's still a young organization, but they're like the rockets, you know, like all over the place. The numbers are rockets. So shout out to them. Shout out to my sponsor, Crazy Boxers. Crazy Boxers. I don't know if you ever checked my Crazy Boxers. That was nice, you know. And but that's it, man. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Hey, best of luck, and we'll talk to you soon, eh?
Thank you very much.